In this video, I'm going to tell you not only how you can eat your favorite foods to lose weight, but how you actually must eat your favorite foods in order to lose the weight forever. It's a bit unbelievable though, right? I mean, I would find it a bit unbelievable when I was still struggling if somebody would tell me, hey, Tiasha, you can eat your favorite foods and you can still lose weight and you can still, have a beautiful relationship with food. I would be like, are you crazy? It's not possible. I have to eat these boring foods, and this is the only way I will lose weight. I have to portion control, or I have to count calories, or I have to be very strict and use my willpower and all of that, or I won't be able to do it. I have to control myself. But it's really not true. And in this video, I'm going to tell you what actually works so much better and how actually not eating your favorite foods can be very counterproductive. So reason number one why it's important to eat your favorite foods is that if you don't, you're missing out on pleasure, on a lot of pleasure. Eating can be one of the highest forms of pleasure. Now, if you are eating foods that are bland, that are boring, that you don't truly enjoy, how much enjoyment will that really give you? I will presume that not a lot. And usually what happens is that people do try to control themselves to their diets, but then afterwards they're still craving for something more. And if there's emotional eating involved, they will usually not be able to say no. So perhaps for lunch, they're eating some kind of boring salad. Don't get me wrong, salads can be amazing. I love salads. But sometimes people, when they're dieting, they're eating boring foods, boring salads that they don't really truly enjoy. And if that's the case, then what might happen is that afterwards they will crave other foods that they truly enjoy and that they're usually restricting themselves from them. And usually when they will indulge in those, it's going to be in a form of a cheat meal or a cheat day, and they will overindulge in those foods because it is a desperate attempt to fill up their pleasure tank, right? Especially if it's connected to emotional eating. And by the way, I have a lot of videos on emotional eating. I have a whole masterclass on all the different types of emotional eating. And if you're interested in that, I'm going to link some videos right here in this corner and you'll be able to watch them. But some of my clients have tremendous amounts of willpower and they don't indulge. But what happens is that they start to obsess about foods and what they can eat, what they can't eat, when they will be able to finally eat their favorite foods again, and so on and so forth. And this really gets people crazy because they start obsessing about food. We want what we can't have, right? So if we are restricting ourselves to eating these boring, bland diets, and we say, okay, but I cannot have that food and that food and that food, we're gonna start thinking about those foods and, oh, when can we have them again? And also it's connected to filling up your pleasure tank. And also it's connected to emotional eating. The most important thing to understand is that you can eat your favorite foods in a way that fills up your pleasure tank and helps you reach your health goals. Now, the reason number two why it's important to eat your favorite foods is because if you won't, you will eat mindlessly. Mindful eating is extremely important because it helps you get connected with your body's wisdom, and your body is always giving you signals for, hunger and then satiety. So when we're eating, it's important we are connected with our body's wisdom. So we hear the signals for when it's time to stop eating. But the funny thing is that when you're eating foods that you don't truly enjoy, you're not going to want to eat mindfully. You're not going to want to be fully present with your food because you just won't enjoy it as much. Am I right? When we are eating foods that we don't truly enjoy, we want to do something enjoyable while we're eating them. So you might watch television while you're eating, or you might watch YouTube videos, or you might read. You might do all sorts of things while you're eating. But the thing is that you will not want to eat mindfully. I know that when I am eating foods that I don't enjoy, I don't want to be fully present. It's like having a bad conversation with someone when it's really boring. Are you fully present, or do you find your mind starts to wander off? So here lies the second problem, and it is that you might overeat even on those boring foods that you just think you have to eat, or you think they're the healthiest, you think they're the foods that will help you reach your health goals, but in reality you might overeat on them. And when you're overeating foods, any foods, they are going to be influencing your body and how you feel in your body. And I know it's possible to overeat on all foods. At one point, I was eating very clean, a very, very clean diet, and I still overate. So as I was editing the video, I realized I missed one of the really important details. And it is that so many times women tell me, but Tiasha, if I'm gonna eat my favorite foods only, I'm gonna become very unhealthy because most of my favorite foods right now are very unhealthy. Now, I don't like to put labels on food, but it is true that some foods have more nutrients than other foods. And what I want to say about that is that your body will always guide you to your healthiest self. It absolutely will. Your body is the most intelligent machine out there, and it's always guiding you. But the fact is that right now you're probably not really in tune with your body, you're not in alignment with your body, but you will be over time. The more connected with your body you will become, the more you'll be able to follow the guidance. And with time, what I've seen is that the taste buds usually change a bit. And what you consider to be your favorite food right now might not be your favorite food 1 year from now, when you'll be really, really in alignment with your body and you'll be able to listen to your body's wisdom. But the level of enjoyment that you get from food will remain the same or be even higher. And that's the beauty of listening to your body and reconnecting to your body's wisdom. Eating your favorite foods will also help you to make all foods neutral, which will allow you to actually hear your body's wisdom much, much, much better. And also, like I mentioned in the video, if you are struggling with emotional eating and overeating, then definitely, watch my masterclass, because you'll learn so much about it. Because if you are struggling with emotional eating, you cannot truly follow the guidance usually. Even if you can hear what your body's saying, it's kind of hard to follow the guidance. So watch the masterclass, because I give you specific examples and tips for each type, and it's going to be really helpful. Okay, now I'll go back to editing the video. So these are the two reasons that are really, really important. Let's go over them again. The first reason is that you're missing out on pleasure. And when you're missing out on pleasure, you're gonna start to become obsessed with food, and you will probably overindulge the next time you will have the foods that you truly enjoy. And the second reason is that you will eat mindlessly, which will prevent you from hearing your body's wisdom, and again, you will most probably overeat on those foods. So it's a lose-lose situation. It doesn't really help you. And if you want to get long-term results, if you want to get long-term freedom, then it's important you eat your favorite foods. Because when you'll be eating your favorite foods, you're going to actually be filling up your pleasure tank with true pleasure. You're going to really enjoy in those foods, and they will really give you a lot of pleasure. And because of that, you won't be obsessing about these foods, because you'll eat them in abundance, and you won't have the need to overindulge in them, because you'll already be having them in abundance. And the second reason is that you'll be able to eat mindfully, because when you are eating foods that you absolutely adore, you will want to slow down. You will want to indulge in them slowly and with all your senses, because it will feel good. Again, if we return to what I was saying before about having a boring conversation, well, what about when you're having a super interesting conversation? Your mind doesn't wander off when that happens, right? Or when you're doing something else that's truly pleasurable for you, again, your mind doesn't wander off. You're fully, fully present in the moment. You're enjoying it. You're savoring every second. Have you ever eaten a chocolate cake that was so heavenly, and you just took a small little bite by bite and you let it melt in your mouth? Well, that's what I'm talking about. And when you're eating like that, when you're eating with all of your senses and mindfully, I mean, this in itself gives you a lot of true pleasure, but also it can help you to reconnect to your body's wisdom and actually hear what your body is trying to say and hear the signals for satiety. And when you will hear the signals for satiety, it will be way, 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 way easier to stop eating, because you were just eating your favorite foods, and you know that for your next meal, you'll be able to again eat your favorite foods. Because what happens if you don't, if you only have a cheat meal and you only allow yourself to eat your favorite foods then, what will happen is that you will want to overindulge in those foods, right? And I also have a bonus tip for you, which is to always eat the best on your plate first. So it's not about leaving the best for the last, it's about eating the best first because you deserve it. And also, what you'll do with that is that if you eat the best first, then everything else that will be left on your plate, you'll find it boring and you won't have the need to finish it all, and you'll prevent overeating again. So you see how eating your favorite foods is an absolute win-win-win-win situation? I hope you'll try it. But if you find yourself still struggling with emotional eating, with overeating and all of that, then I invite you to watch my free masterclass where I'm going to share with you all the different types of emotional eating and what you can do about them. And I'm going to link this down below in the description and you can go ahead and watch it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm happy you're here. If you have a moment, comment below and tell me, how do you feel about eating your favorite foods for every single meal? If you have any questions for me, leave them down below and I will do my best to answer them all either in the comment section or in one of my next videos. All right, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.